Hello, Samantha. Good to hear your voice again.
Good to see you
again. How are you, darling?
I'm doing well now that I'm speaking to you properly. I'm speaking with Travis and P. Michael from the band ONO, Chicago-based experimental.
As one of our early lyrics stated, niggers are the nuisance in our neighborhood.
Negars
are the nuisance in our neighborhood.
So I want to talk about Red Summer and how that came about.
2015, I believe, is when we started talking about it and things. And I was reading about it, and I knew the anniversary was coming up, and I went over to Travis's house before we did rehearsal, and I brought a book. Cameron McWhirter, I believe, wrote the book on Red Summer. Started working on, we had pieces already that related to it anyway. And then Travis worked on a series of short pieces that make out to be the glue in between some of the older pieces that are in there. And we formulated the whole premise and put it together.
2020, what did you guys do for the catalog of afflictions that was 2020? Because everybody handled it pretty differently.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it. I'm sorry to see it end. I'm hoping it doesn't, because it was very peaceful for me and creative.
For me, it has been the most creative period of my life since grad school. And that was nearly 30 years ago. I am quite happy being in isolation. I was born in isolation. I love this. I have no need or reason to go outside of my bedroom except to the bathroom.
Yeah, I hate having to be obliged to go anywhere.
Yeah, I
prefer being just, isolated.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, so I don't know how I'm going to deal with trying to come back to life.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I was just thinking this because, now that we see there will be end soon, and how touring will come back, and it's just going to be this insane wave of people wanting to get on tour and on the road and just.
Now the thing I do enjoy is tour, because I love a motel. That's the best part of the tour. It's the motel. I don't care about it doing anything else. I just enjoy going to a motel every night. but playing a show doesn't interest me. But just going to a motel, I did go into a motel every night. I love that.
Travis.
In terms of touring, well, the fun part first of all, no, touring is a bad thing if we're driving, because I love to drive. I've been driving for 60 years. I'm 75 years old now. And the problem with driving now, in the last couple of decades, that is that the police love seeing a Black male behind the wheel, and I've got tickets for not changing lanes, for not giving a light or a warning for not changing a light, which has never ever happened. So when those things happen, what I do is then challenge them, which means that I didn't have to go back to the place where it was issued, and that becomes a pain in the heart. But to avoid being late for shows and that sort of thing, I just don't drive. It means that I sit in the back seat where Negroes should be, and then I mope because I don't get a chance to drive.
Hey, Michael.
Well, what I do like about it is that we've been blessed to get really big luxury vehicles to travel in with dark windows. so we could pretend that we're white.
Well, you're white enough in some instances. When we were coming back from Canada, these assholes had the audacity to go past P. Michael. Rebecca was driving, and I love Rebecca's driving. And the security police came through, shined the light through the van, and then got back to me, and suddenly out of the bus and get inspected and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But in Texas, it was big fun because here we are in this big ass Mercedes-Benz bus, and we're in the backwoods of Texas. Rebecca is driving, but the roads were too small for the bus for both lanes, so I had to get out and direct the traffic to halt so that we could get out of the venue and down to the intersection in Texas in the early hours of the morning. It was insane. But other than that,
you can wait to touring so you can have those experiences again.
Yeah, surprisingly, Texas was beautiful. Was really cool.
How have you seen things change in the way that you are perceived when you guys are performing live? You know, from then into the present moment.
Well, back in the day, it didn't make any sense to anybody except for those who were extremely damaged. Our audience was made up of individuals who were broken individuals who were broken and suffering and damaged, and are people that no one really wanted to see.
But therefore, P. Michael created what was called the ONO halfway house, because a lot of these kids, white kids from,
A halfway house? An ONO halfway?
Yes, the ONO halfway house. And the ONO audience were all these white kids from the suburbs who had extreme damage, a lot of damage of all sorts. And so when high holidays happened, they knew that there was the ONO halfway house and that P. Michael, Rick, and Travis would cook all day long. They couldn't bring any drugs, but we would make sure that they were fed and they could hang out with friends all day long. And that was good for them. High holidays are high and holy for a very good reason. And when your parents are celebrating those very good reasons, what ONO fans have learned and from the very beginning is that then they begin to challenge why those high holy days are high and holy, and what is the contrast? What is ONO telling them about these holidays? And what is the relationship to, for instance, the North Shore suburb to the ghetto of the South Side? How does one impact the other? The ugly reality is that if poverty did not pay, it would not exist. So who is profiting? Those kids' parents. But I'll stop there rather than to get off on that tangent.
Many of the kids were out on leave, on a pass from the mental health institution that they were living in, that they were housed in the North Shore. So they had, we had to feed them and get them back to their institution so that they wouldn't be AWOL.
But the kids wanted to come to the ONO show. We had to deal with the fact that some venues thought ahead of time and would simply label the band as voodoo and cancel the show beforehand. Oh yes, we got labeled as voodoo and stay away.
Have you seen things change in your audiences now, 40 years later?
Their parents, actually, they are now the parents of the kids, and their kids are Different than the parents. The parents were the ones that were in the institution, and now we're serving their children.
Wow.
And they actually bring their children. We've got parents who bring their
Some.
kids, and for years now have been bringing their kids to ONO shows. But power is being challenged. White male power and supremacy is being challenged on many levels, and being challenged by white men as well, and white males at ONO shows will come up and talk to me in full dress and talk shit.
And your Crocs. How they have white guilt, or is it just like they feel the need to wonder how to be a ally, or what is it that they're
Want to lure us to Indiana? Because they feel that Indiana needs to see us. The middle of Indiana needs to see us. The middle of nowhere.
You guys have gone on tour all over America, right?
We were just about to before the play took place. We were about to go down south to places we had never been to.
That's a shame.
But then you don't have to really go down south. I mean, Chicago is certainly more racist than the Mississippi that I was born in.
That's true.
That's the deal here.
That's why we don't play here that much. We tried our best to get out of town.
I mean, when I had that show with you guys, it was pretty in Chicago. It was very well received. I was surprised out of my whole tour.
That's because they were thirsty.
Well,
we hadn't been around. We hadn't been around in a while.
I just want to get to the last question, which is, how do you see yourself with ONO, both of you, moving forward into this new decade, in this new madness?
I do as I'm told. Otherwise, I am home and doing my research. I am busier than ever for the last 30.
There's going to be more music. Yes.
But I sent you something. I sent you the SoundCloud to a radio show that we did, which was based upon a play by Russell Atkins that Travis mentioned. And that was really fun to do. And that was something that maybe we were thinking about bringing to the live show, like readings of a legitimate play type thing, because that was so much fun. And you can listen to it at your leisure, but it was amazing. And let me know what you think of it when you listen to it. Travis, speak about Russell Atkins. It was big fun.
The play, Russell Atkins wrote 2 plays. And there are no recordings of them. People just don't they are so weird. We just did the one called The Corpse, and The Corpse just evolved from that. There's another one called The Abortionist, and these 2 plays that just terrified people back before. They were considered the avant-garde. Well, there's no reason why we should not do something like that going forward. Or I have also written plays. I studied with a white female from Mississippi many years ago. But that is also a possibility. Also, what may play into all this is how will venues redesign themselves after the plague.
And that'll play into like us with costuming, masking, and things like that. That's going to make us even more interesting looking as we progress, because we have no limit with our weirdness in terms of production and all of that, what we do in general. So we have no boundaries. So this is going to get weirder.
Well, whenever touring and all that comes back to light, I'm assuming you guys will come to New York, yes?
Why?
I'm sure we.
I will bring you here.
That's a better idea, actually. Well, I guess that's about it. So I just want to thank you both for.
Did we get it this time?
I'll do anything you ask. Anything.
Thank you both for joining and talking about the history of Ono, and they must know now to check out Ono and the album Red Summer. It's amazing in all its glory, and I can't wait to see you guys again. Yeah, that's
Be
about
prepared to shake, baby.